Hey, good morning, Rich. How are you?
Morning, Scott. How you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing pretty well. Just want to make sure that you're able to see my screen. You should see Selling with Confidence.
I do see it. Yes, sir.
All right, awesome. So now, before I jump in and tell you just how great we are, I just wanted to. I was reviewing your dealership. I was in your showroom actually a couple months ago. How'd you land that GM job? I mean, that's a beautiful dealership.
Thank you. Been here for over 25 years. I started right out of college in the parts department, moved up to parts manager, eventually into comptroller, and then to general manager where I am right now. Thank you.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. All right, so I spoke to Brian. He's our local VCI there. He says you're an ACV fan, loyal customer. So pretty excited about that. As you know, or hopefully you're aware, ACV acquired us back in January, and it's really been a perfect fit. I'm able at this point to walk into a dealership and confidently, let them know that frontline, backline, online, I got you covered. So really comfortable fit for us, and I'm just going to dive right into the sales deck unless you have any questions.
No, sir.
Okay. So 2010, over a decade ago, we did our first report. And our company was founded on the fact that 17% of all used vehicles have documented accident or damage history. Now, Rich, does that number resonate with you? Does it seem high, low?
Oh, that seems a bit on the low side, honestly.
Okay, perfect. So, throughout our relationship together, I'm going to want you to remember a few numbers, and that 17% is really one of them. And if you see the vehicle on this page here, this is what your consumer's seeing. Every car online looks great. Every car is beautiful. But when you peel back the layers, you never know what's underneath the paint, right? So this is what we can do for your customer and give them some confidence. Now, our report, you'll see a quick sneak peek of our report here. We'll dive into that a little bit later. But more importantly, you're going to see exactly where we populate into Carfax and AutoCheck. We're the company that created the True Frame Inspection. The report was developed to help dealerships retail these types of vehicles with confidence. We're going to neutralize the sting of any accident history. Now, this is it. I mean, it's your car. You should be able to tell its story. Now, we want to be transparent, but we also want to make sure that we put the vehicle in its best light. To make it simple, we take the mystery out of the history. 72% of all vehicles inspected with accident history have only sustained minor damage or cosmetic repairs. Now, how do you feel about that?
I would absolutely agree with that number. I was figuring 75% right in that ballpark.
Oh, perfect. And the great thing about it is that data comes directly from the hundreds and thousands of inspections that we've performed. So, that's awesome. I'm glad that resonates with you. Now, Rich, what's your process for intaking a vehicle? Trade-ins, ACV auction, physical auction? What does that look like?
Well, as of course, we do take in trade-ins, of course. Right now, I'm at about a 60-40 split between ACV and traditional auction.
Okay, perfect. So immediately when I hear physical auction, we're going to want to inspect that car within that arbitration window. So, as soon as the tires hit the pavement, we need to be there probably in the first couple of days. You can obviously see the value in that. Secondly, when you're intaking a vehicle, I want you to remember that 72%. 72% of the time, we're going to find minor damage. So that's pretty important. That's going to give you some confidence in trading in for a vehicle. And better yet, we have technicians all over the country. If you can put that customer on ice and call one of our VCIs over, we can probably inspect that car within an hour or so. So, I mean, you have to see some value in that as well, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, and so you see the phone here with the before picture? That's exactly what your online shopper's saying. They're looking for that 2016 BMW 528i. They see that accent, that yellow triangle, they're on to the next car. They are not diving any further. If they do, what are they going to find? Exactly where it was hit and what date. What we're saying is 72% of the time, we're populating that second or third line, inspection found very minor damage. We're at least going to grab their attention for a little bit. Now, we have a little bit of sweat equity involved with the consumer. As they scroll further down in the details section of the Carfax, they're going to see right there the TrueFrame ProView report. They click on the report, we're going to take them right to our report, which we're going to dive into a little bit later. And if you see what the Carfax is saying, minor damage, usually cosmetic, including dents, scratches to the vehicle body. I mean, this is this right here is enough value for everything. But let me just bring you down a little bit more of our True 360 process. Now, what the True 360 partner is going to inspect? Well, first, our preliminary evaluation, we walk around the vehicle. We're going to check for obvious signs of major damage. And if we find anything, we're going to notify you before beginning our report. And then, we're going to say, hey, Rich, we can continue and we'll give you a transparent report that, you can help retail the vehicle, or we'll walk away. And better yet, this might be a perfect candidate for the ACV platform. Secondly, we're going to do a complete metering of all paint services and finish, both outside and inside to the vehicle structure. We are going to inspect the complete unibody structure or frame of the vehicle to be sure it's within manufacturer's specifications. And number 4, our detailed report is uploaded to Carfax AutoCheck and is automatically delivered to you. Got it. And now we're at the center of everything we do, right? Here's our report. You will never retail a vehicle without knowing everything about it. So on the top section here, you have our cosmetic score based 1 to 100. So this is a 99. This is a great cosmetic score. You see a green check mark for TrueFrame structural standards. There's no structure on this car. Then your second kind of block here is your vehicle condition. Previous vehicle history, very minor cosmetic repairs, and your current vehicle condition, no damage found. I mean, this is where we're training a BDC department on this type of car. That's where we're living right here. This is going to get that car sold. Now, if you continue down further, you see the vehicle details. You have your VIN, year, make, model, and your mileage, 39,000 on the 2017 RAV4, priced right with no damage found. This car's moving quickly, and that's really obviously the idea. You'll see the date of the inspection, and every one of our technicians sign and certify that they inspected the vehicle.
Got it.
Now, the second and third page is our cosmetic inspection and our structural inspection. We kind of divide it into two. Our cosmetic inspection, if you look here, you'll see the front bumper cover, which is why it didn't get a perfect 100. That front bumper cover was refinished. That means anything that happened to it was probably, like Carfax said, it was a scratch or something happened in a parking lot. But whatever that impact was, it was not strong enough to penetrate or damage any of the parts in this vehicle. And if we go down further, we see the hood, the left fender, the left front door, the left rear door, all original. There's nothing better than original. Now, page 3 is our structural inspection. I want to dive a little bit deeper into that. But, Rich, let me ask you, being a GM of your store for many years, how many times a year do you buy back a car because of unannounced structure or something that was missed or delayed in reporting?
Boy, Scott, unfortunately, I got to say 3 to 6 times per year I'm buying a car back, and all the fun that comes along with that as well.
Wow. I mean, that just shuts down your dealership, right? I mean, that takes your whole time. Yeah. Wow.
Yes, sir.
Well, let me show you this report. So this is our structure report, right? The 99, the 98, those are kind of a no-brainer. We're going to get that online shopper, move them right into the buying funnel. But what about this report? This is a structure report, and this is one that we might have found when we're doing our inspection. We'll bring it to your attention. Hey, what would you like to do with this car? Again, it's your car, your story. Do you want to publish this? Do you want to do a report? Do you want us to walk away? And the reason why we say it, not all structure is the same, right? So when I go through this car, 95, great cosmetic score. Wait, we have a little bit of orange here under structural, so that means that there was something happened with this vehicle. When I go to the condition of the vehicle, previous damage identified, but currently there's no damage found. So obviously that's going to pique your interest. You know, what are we going to do here? You'll see the vehicle details, the same as the previous report I showed you. When we get to the cosmetic, and one of the reasons our report is so valuable, we look at our car outside in. Any damage that happens to the unibody is first going to be indicated by something that happened on the outside of the car, right? So we have a rear bumper cover was refinished and a rear quarter panel previously replaced. So as you might imagine, that's going to trigger something in our structure section. Now, I didn't go over the structure on the other report, so let me just kind of dive into this a little bit. We divide our structure into two sides. The engine bay underhood, which is your windshield forward. That's what everyone's worried about, that front impact collision, that car on the side of the road, that the car is just completely totaled. That's where your core support is, your left strut tower, your right strut tower, your firewall, etc. All green check marks, good to go. Now, windshield back, that's your inner body inspection. And when you go, you see your pillars are fine, left and right, your left structural rocker, your right structural rocker. But as you might expect, that right quarter panel, we have the red X. And that's because the right quarter panel was replaced. The factory welds were broken in order to replace it. And if we go to the next page, you'll actually see a picture of why we called that that structure call, and you'll see the re-welds here. So now, is that car good and safe to sell? We're just indicating the area of prior damage, and now you can use your work orders. You can direct the customer right to this repaired piece, and you can get that car sold. And then with all of our reports, we have a certificate of integrity or a certificate of inspection. And this guarantees that we touch the car. It reconfirms your miles, VIN number, signed by Francis Lynch and RJ Larson, our Dean of Inspectors. What are we doing? At the end of the day, we're connecting clients and dealers. We're providing an unbiased third-party vehicle inspection. We are leading you down to vehicle choice validation, and we're protecting your brand reputation management. And I'm going to have to back up here because your brand reputation management, do you see the blue line on these reports?
Yes.
So totally missed that. What this blue line is and how this is going to protect you so you don't have to buy back those cars. You're selling this to your customer. Hey, Mr. Customer, now I've totally disclosed everything about this car. So what I'm going to want you to do, I'm going to circle this right quarter panel here, and I'm going to circle the right quarter panel previously replaced here. And see this blue line, Mr. Customer? I'm going to have you sign right on that blue line. I'm going to take this report. I'm going to give you a copy of it. I'm going to put another copy in my dealer jacket. And that's going to save me a headache down the road for, for a couple $100 and peace of mind. I think it's well worth it.
I like that. Definitely.
So the other thing, obviously, there's some benefits to the buyers, right? There's no uncertainty with vehicle history. We're going to create a sense of security, and best yet for everybody, we're going to create a frictionless transaction. Now, right here we have probably the most exciting part of our piece, right? We have the widget. This is how it looks on the SRP page. This is a tremendous value. We're going to this is how we talk to that online shopper, that out-of-state buyer. I mean, Rich, is that something that you guys are looking to grow? Is that something you guys are, have your pulse on? Is that out-of-state buyer?
Most definitely, especially in this day and age with what's going on around now. Online shopping is primary for us right now.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm glad you said it. I didn't have to say it, but you're right. Everything has to be going online. I mean, dealers for years now are, not so enthused about that tire kicker, taking up showroom time. So this is how we're talking to that online shopper. This is your widget. It's usually located right near the Carfax display, and it's a live link directly to the reports I just showed you. So before that, online shopper picks up the phone, before they migrate away from a car, we're going to address all their concerns with accident history right there with the report. Now, the reason why I say this is a tremendous value, think about it. We're going to dispatch a live inspector using our proprietary software to do the inspection. We're going to populate our report to Carfax. We're going to populate our report to AutoCheck. And we're, as you see here, we're going to populate it to your website for, I mean, $399. And you can't beat that.
Whoa, $399. Okay, little steep there.
Yeah, so that was just to see if you were paying attention. I mean, unlike my wife, you know, she's not always listening. So, yeah, I mean, you definitely have to see the value by this point. Our reports are pretty simple. We are charging $149 for non-luxury vehicles and $199 for luxury vehicles.
Okay.
So, you know, pretty confident there again with the value that we're going to show you. This is our lead generator tool. This has not been released yet, and so we'll talk about that in the future, but that's coming down the road. Now, with the widget that we're putting online, one thing I'm also able to do, and we want to be part of your process and not simply, you know, just a vendor. And on a monthly basis, we are going to show you the analytics. And this is going to tell you right here, you know, your SRP widget, how many clicks did you get? In this example, 162. How many BDP clicks did you get? 248. And the average session time was 4 minutes and 34 seconds. Now, Rich, I mean, I know you're really in tune with your dealership. Do you know what your bounce rate is in your session time?
Approximately 1 minute as of right now.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so that's pretty standard across the country. Now, this 4 minutes and 34 seconds, which in true transparency is a little bit high for us. We're averaging about 3 minutes, 3.5. That's on top of your session time. So that means, you know, think about that. With every dealership on the internet and all that competition, Mr. Customer found your dealership. And then with all the cars you have on your site, they found that car. So that's whether it's the color of the car, the price of the car, they're interested in that car. And now they've been on between your page and my page, 5 minutes on that car. A trained BDC department, a trained sales staff is going to get that close. I mean, that's, at the end of the day, that's what this is all about. So let me ask you, Rich, do you have any questions, any doubts whatsoever that I'm not showing you value for $149, $199?
No, not at this moment, no.
All right, perfect. That's kind of what I wanted to hear. I mean, really to get things started, all I need is for you to sign this widget form, which allows me to talk to your website provider on your behalf, and we'll get a widget up probably within 24 to 72 hours. And, you know, I took the luxury and took a look at your website, and these are 3 cars that you have on your lot right now. And I mean, unless there's something else, I'd like to get these inspected today.
Yeah, let's get this rolling.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to call Brian. He'll be here probably within the hour. In the meantime, do you have, you know, who am I going to be speaking with on a daily basis? I know as a general manager, I'm not going to be talking to you every day. Who's your quarterback? Who's going to hand me the keys? Who's going to approve the list?
That's going to be my used car manager, Mr. Jeff Smith.
Okay, Jeff Smith. Okay, now is he going to be able to schedule my training with the BDC department and the sales staff?
Yes, he will.
Okay, perfect, because that's going to be imperative that we do that probably in the next 3 to 5 days. After the widget's live and after these inspections get populated to Carfax and AutoCheck.
Nice.
And then, you know, there's nothing like name dropping. You know, here's some of our most valued partners across the country. And Rich, I really appreciate it, and we're going to get the ball rolling.
My pleasure, Scott. I appreciate it very much. Thank you, sir.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you.